Hello, 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 and welcome back to the AI Cafe Conversations, the #1 podcast on Spotify for AI coaching tools for executives. I am Sahar, your AI whisperer, and today we are diving into something that separates successful AI leaders from those who struggle. Understanding how your brain responds to AI integrations. So, if you are an executive trying to lead AI transformation or a coach helping leaders navigate this space, this episode reveals the neuroscience behind human-centered AI adoption. Because the most successful AI implementation are not driven by technology. They are driven by leaders who understand both the brain science and the human psychology of change. So let's start with this. The neuroscience of AI resistance. AI, like anything else, it's new. The brain looks at it as a danger, so we develop resistance or push back, and we want to stay in our comfort zone. So why your brain fights AI integration? Let's talk about the neurological reality. And I know most people talk either about the technology or about the change management, but they fail to marry them both, and one does not exist without the other, right? So here is what's happening in your brain when someone mentions AI in a meeting. We all have been through that. Your amygdala, or basically your threat detection system, immediately scans for danger, real or perceived. And the first thing that comes to our mind is this: will this replace me? Do I lock myself out of this? Do I look incompetent? Am I falling behind? This is not weakness, my friends. This is pure biology. This is how the brain is supposed to work, because its first function is to protect us. Your brain evolved to detect threats, and new technology triggers the same neural pathways as physical danger. Remember, I said danger, real or right or perceived. Understanding this changes everything about how you approach AI integration. This is actually a starting point where 90% of leaders are missing. And that's why I'm not going to call it fail, but at least I'm not achieving or hitting the KPIs that they have for themselves. So let's start talking about the executive brain under pressure. For executive, this gets overcomplicated a little bit, but let's demystify that. Your prefrontal cortex, or the front part of your brain, or the brain that basically evolved itself into existence for us as human beings so we can start solving problems and think logically. So the prefrontal cortex, responsible for strategic thinking, gets hijacked by fear responses. The result of that? You make AI decisions from anxiety, not strategy. I see this constantly in my coaching every single day. Brilliant leaders who can navigate complex business challenges suddenly feel incompetent when AI enters the room. No pun intended, enters the conversation. The neuroscience here explains why, and most importantly, how to override it. So let's talk about the human-centered solution. The human-centered AI isn't just nice to have, it's neurologically necessary and crucial. When we design AI integration around human psychology rather than technology capabilities, we work with the brain instead of against it. Did you hear that? We work with the brain instead of against it, meaning that we're not going to create resistance or push back from the get-go, but we're going to work with it. This means starting with trust building, not tool deployment like everybody does. Here are the tools. go and be the best that you can be, right? No, it's about trust building. That's where we actually need to start. It's not about tool deployment. It's not about having the latest cutting edge tools. But it means acknowledging fears, not dismissing them. It means making AI feel like an extension of human capability, not a replacement for it. Like I said, work with the brain, not against it. So let's dive into the AI Weekly Intel through a neuroscience lens to kind of put together what we need to do, right? So this week's AI developments and what your brain actually needs to know. Enterprise AI adoption reality. This week's data, 78% of companies are experimenting with AI, but only 23% report successful integration. 23%, less than a quarter, okay? Report successful integration. You might ask why. I did ask why, and that's why I'm doing this research. They are approaching this as a technology problem, not a human psychology problem. They're working against the brain, not with the brain. Now you see why I said in the beginning that we need to work with the brain, not against it. And I'm going to keep saying that till we get it. I'm not repeating myself. I'm reiterating the importance of it. We need to work with the brain, not against the brain. So from a neuroscience perspective, this makes perfect sense. And you're going to ask me why. The human brain needs time to build new neural pathways. For example, when a new freeway is built or even a new exit is replastered, does it happen overnight? Does it happen by itself? And the answer is no. It takes a little bit. That's the same way that the neural pathways, imagine them as new freeways being led or new routes in your brain. They do take time. So when organizations rush AI deployment without considering cognitive load and change psychology, failure is predictable. It's around the corner. Here is what successful companies do differently, and that's what I help coach my client to do. They understand that AI integration is fundamentally about human behavior change, not software installation. So let's talk about the neuroscience of AI tool adoption. New research shows it takes an average of 66 days for a new behavior to become automatic. And we say that, right? We say to adopt a new habit, we take 6 to 8 weeks, making sure that we create triggers that will make us remember the new habit, so we start doing it automatically between 6 and 8 weeks. Like quid pro quo. When this happened, I revert to that new habit. And that's how we replace the old bad habits with new ones that serve us. So before I move forward, make a list of habits that are not serving you anymore. Keep writing them for a week and watch yourself in the next 30 days how they are either helping you or hindering you. So going back to the AI tool adoption, for the new behavior to become automatic, I said it takes an average of 66 days, yet most AI rollout expect immediate adoption, 30 days or less. Your brain literally can't process the timeline. Human-centered AI integration follows brain science. Duh. Start small, build confidence, create positive associations, positive reinforcement. When your brain experiences AI as helpful rather than threatening, adoption accelerates naturally. So let's talk about the cognitive load and AI overwhelm. The biggest AI implementation mistake, you might ask, introducing multiple tools one after the other. Your working memory can only handle 7 plus or minus 2 pieces of new information. That's all what the brain can handle. That's why we have shortcuts, that we have blind spots. Fire on 5 AI tools at once and your brain, guess what it does? It shuts down. It tells you, I don't want to be bothered anymore. Leave me alone. I'm on overload. It's like when your car engine gets heated. What do you need to do? You need to stop, pull on the side of the road, and make sure that it has enough water. Same thing with the brain. Okay. Smart leaders introduce one AI capability at a time. Let teams build competence first, then layer in additional tools. This respects cognitive limits while building AI confidence. I hope you're listening to that. This is important. Not because I say it, because this is what neuroscience says. So I want to go a little bit through the neuroscience-based AI coaching for executive, the brain science behind AI leadership success. Human-centered. Human-centered AI will take the price every single day. But first, we need to rewire the executive mindset, because everything starts and ends with executives, right? So in my coaching practice, I use specific neuroscience technique to help executive overcome AI anxiety. First, we address the threat response, acknowledging that feeling incompetent around AI is normal, is not a weakness, is not a character flaw. Then we use neuroplasticity principles, small wins, positive reinforcement, gradual complexity increase. One CEO I worked with went from avoiding totally AI conversations to leading his company's AI strategies in 90 days. Not 7 days, not 30 days, 90 days. Not by learning to code. And this is the biggest myth about AI, that people think that they need to know coding to be proficient and efficient in AI. I don't code, I'm not a techie, and I consider myself proficient and efficient in AI. So by understanding how his brain works, we actually were able to let him lead the efforts of his company AI strategy. How do we approach the human-centered executive mindset? The human-centered AI leadership means making decisions based on human outcomes, not technical features. When executives ask, how will this AI enhance our team's capabilities? Instead of, what can this AI do? Everything changes. The shift activates different neural networks, moving from fear-based processing to curiosity that opens the centers of problem solving, that leads to strategic thinking. The result? Better AI decisions and higher team adoption rates. Building AI confidence through neuroscience is a crucial point. Confidence isn't built through knowledge alone. It's built through successful experiences. I help executives create small AI wins that build neural pathways for success. New habits. Example. Start with AI for email drafting, experience success, build confidence, then tackle more complex applications in that order. Each positive experience builds on the other and gives strength that the AI is a helpful tool for neural pathways. So, how do we apply now neuroscience to organizational AI adoption? One, let's talk about the psychology of team AI adoption. Teams mirror the leader's neural state. If you are anxious about AI, your team feels it. Mirror neurons fire, spreading anxiety through the organization. You are the thermostat. Human-centered AI integration starts with leadership neuroscience. Get yourself comfortable with AI first, then you guide others. This isn't about technical mastery. It's about emotional regulation and strategic clarity. How to create psychological safety for AI experimentation? The brain needs psychological safety to learn. Teams won't experiment with AI if failure feels dangerous. Smart leaders create learning labs, safe spaces where AI mistakes become learning opportunities. Result out of that we are creating faster AI adoption and more innovative applications. And you might wonder, what is change management, AI, and neuroscience has to do with each other, right? People don't usually think that way. We think about change management that it's all processes that have to be changed. And the problem is that people always start with everything that is changing, rather than starting with the things that are not changing, to kind of ground the brain, not to feel that much anxiety because of the changes, then go on what is not changing. People look at change management as 80% system, and they barely give 20% to the human factor of it, when it's actually the other way around. So it's change management, 80% is human psychology or human-centered change management, and only 20% is processes. But people kind of flip it upside down, and that's why it's not really working. That's why I want to go through the neuroscience really quick. So traditional change management ignores totally the brain science. Human-centered AI transformation works with neurological reality. Humans need time, support, and positive reinforcement to build new habits, like I mentioned before. But people totally ignore that. Imagine yourself on an elephant. The elephant is like the change management, the psychology of people, and you are the rider, the 20% of it. If you are the rider, you are the system that wants to push the change management. If you try to move the elephant to the right when it wants to move to the left, do you think you're going to be able to push it to the right? The answer is absolutely not. So that's something to remember. The framework of that: introduce AI gradually, celebrate small wins, provide psychological support, measure human engagement alongside KPIs and productivity metrics. So let me share a neuroscience-powered AI action plan with you. And these are the brain-based steps that you can take this week. So let me go for executives first. Practice AI mindfulness. And I say, what? AI mindfulness. Notice your threat response when AI comes up. Like, what happens? Of course, leaders are emotionally intelligent, so that's about self-awareness. What happens when AI comes up? What are the physiological changes that you have in your body? Does your heart beats faster? Do you breathe faster and maybe a little bit more shallow? Do you tense? What happens? Notice that. Don't ignore it and don't push it aside, but acknowledge it. And then engage your strategic thinking. Pushing it to the side is not going to help. You need to claim it, name it, own it, and then let it go. You have to acknowledge it. That's number one. Number two, create one positive AI experience. Use AI for a low-stakes task. Experience success, build confidence. Appreciative inquiry here in play, right? Learn from that and take the feeling forward. 3, model AI curiosity. Let your team see you experimenting and learning, not just directing. For the coaches that are doing that for organization, now, number 1, study your client's industry. Use AI to research the challenges, bringing deeper insights to sessions. 2, address AI anxiety directly, head on. Help clients understand their neurological responses to AI. 3, create AI learning partnerships. Support client in building AI competence gradually, not all at the same time. And for everyone, 1, download our neuroscience-based AI readiness assessment to understand your brain's AI response patterns. You can email me at Sahar, because I don't want to leave that publicly. Sahar, which is Sahar, at saharconsulting.com. Join our AI Leadership Neuroscience workshop next month. Again, email me to get more details, Sahar at saharconsulting.com. So the key takeaways from today's podcast is AI resistance is neurological, not logical. Work with your brain, not against it. 2, human-centered AI respects brain science and psychology. That's why you succeed. 3, successful AI leaders understand people first, technology second. Let me take you to what we're going to do next episode. So the next episode, I'm bringing you a real transformation story, an executive who overcame AI anxiety to lead her organization's digital transformation. You will hear the exact neuroscience-based strategies that made the difference. Are you ready to leverage neuroscience for AI leadership success? Yes? No? Maybe? Our AI integration coaching program combines brain science with practical information or implementation, because the future belongs to leaders who understand both technology and human psychology. Your brain is the most sophisticated AI system ever created. Trust it, understand it, and use that knowledge to lead others confidently into the new AI age. This is Sahar, your AI whisperer. Show me some love, like, share, tell people about our new podcast. You will help me a lot. You have been helping me in the ranking, and I love you for it. Save it. If you need any comment or you want me to speak up something specific, email me at Sahar at saharconsulting.com. I will see you into the next episode. Until then, stay AI curious. This was AI.
1, 2,